In the annals of history and myth, there are names that echo through the ages, names that inspire awe, provoke anger, and stir the imagination. But none more so than Helen of Troy, the woman whose beauty ignited one of the greatest conflicts in history. Her name has become legend. But who was she really? A victim of fate, a cunning seductress, or a woman swept up in forces far beyond her control? Helen, daughter of Zeus and Leda, was regarded as the most beautiful woman in the world. Her beauty was so profound that poets and historians often called her the face that launched 1,000 ships. But her story didn't begin in Troy. It started in Sparta, where she was the wife of King Menelaus, a man who adored her with all his heart. In the courts of Sparta, Helen's beauty was revered, but her life would soon be consumed by a fateful love, one that would unleash devastation on a scale never before seen in ancient Greece. Paris, a young prince of Troy, arrived in Sparta on a diplomatic mission. But it was not politics that defined his journey. The gods themselves played a role in this story. In a divine contest, Paris had been promised by Aphrodite, the goddess of love, that he would win the heart of the most beautiful woman in the world if he declared her the fairest. That woman was Helen. When Paris laid eyes on her, it was as if fate had intervened. The connection between them was undeniable. Some say it was love, others believe it was the gods' will. Regardless of the cause, they could not resist their feelings, and in a bold act of passion and defiance, Paris and Helen fled together to Troy, leaving behind her marriage, her kingdom, and the fury of Menelaus. Enraged by Helen's betrayal, Menelaus called upon his brother, Agamemnon, the most powerful king in Greece, to help him retrieve his wife. This was not just a matter of personal vengeance. It became a war of honor, pride, and retribution. Agamemnon rallied the Greek states, and together they launched 1,000 ships filled with warriors to bring Helen back from Troy. Legends like Achilles, Odysseus, and Ajax led the charge. For 10 years, the Greeks laid siege to Troy, a city fortified by impenetrable walls and the will of its defenders. But the war was not just about reclaiming Helen. It became a symbol of human frailty, of how desire can topple empires, and how love can lead to ruin. Helen's role in this epic tale remains a point of debate among ancient writers and historians. Was she an unwilling pawn in the gods' games, enchanted by Aphrodite to leave her husband, or did she willingly follow her heart, knowing the destruction it would bring? Some depict Helen as a woman trapped by the power of her own beauty, while others see her as a key player in a war that claimed countless lives. Yet, in both interpretations, one fact remains: Helen's beauty and the love that ignited the flames of war were undeniable. Paris, while deeply in love with Helen, was not the greatest warrior Troy had ever known. Though he fought with passion, it wasn't enough to change the tide of war. In the end, Paris was struck down by the Greek hero Philoctetes, and the city of Troy faced its inevitable fall. As the Greeks became desperate to conquer Troy, Odysseus devised the cunning plan of the Trojan Horse, a strategy that would go down in history as one of the greatest deceptions. The Greeks left a massive wooden horse at Troy's gates, claiming it was a gift of surrender. The Trojans, believing the war was over, brought the horse inside the city. But under the cover of night, Greek soldiers hidden within emerged and opened the gates, allowing the Greek army to overrun the city. Troy was reduced to ashes, its people slaughtered, and its walls torn down. But what became of Helen, the woman for whom this entire war was fought? In a twist of fate, Helen did not meet the tragic end one might expect. When the Greeks captured Troy, Menelaus, despite the fury and betrayal he must have felt, took Helen back to Sparta. Was it her beauty that once again swayed his heart, or was it the undying love he still harbored for her? We may never know. Helen returned to Sparta, where she lived out the remainder of her days, but her legacy would forever be intertwined with the fall of Troy. Helen of Troy's name echoes through time, as both a symbol of unparalleled beauty and a reminder of the tragic consequences of unchecked desire. Her story raises profound questions about love, loyalty, and the cost of following one's heart at the expense of duty. Was Helen truly to blame for the war? Or was she merely a victim of fate and the gods' whims? Perhaps the true moral of this story lies not in the blame, but in the recognition of the power of love to inspire both creation and destruction. Helen's beauty may have launched 1,000 ships, but it was human pride, ambition, and passion that ultimately brought Troy to its knees. The story of Helen and Paris endures because it speaks to something timeless within us all: the yearning for love, the pain of betrayal, and the complexity of human choices. It is a tale that reminds us that beauty, while powerful, can be both a blessing and a curse. In the end, it is our actions that define our fate, not the gifts we are given. So who was Helen of Troy? A seductress who played men like pawns, or a victim of a divine game she could not escape? Was she truly to blame for the war, or was she an unwilling participant in a drama spun by the gods? History and myth offer no simple answers, only more questions. Her story endures not just because of her beauty, but because of what she represents. Helen of Troy was not just a woman. She was a symbol of the tension between love and duty, passion and destruction, fate and free will. In her name, thousands perished, but her legacy remains immortal, a testament to the power of desire and the consequences. As we unravel the threads of myth and history, the mysteries only deepen. Join us next time on Chronicles of Timeless Tales, where legends rise, gods fall, and the echoes of the past come alive once more. From the heroes who defied the gods to the battles that shaped our world, each story holds a truth waiting to be discovered. If this journey through time captured your imagination, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay with us as we venture deeper into the realms of myth, legend, and the untold secrets of ancient civilizations. Your next adventure awaits.